I've got the Vikings being an 11-6 football team with Josh Dobbs leading the rest of the way. And should Josh Dobbs be the next in line with Kirk Cousins' deal being up? We know Kirk Cousins is not going to be on that base salary for the next couple of seasons. He's technically not an unrestricted, or excuse me, he is an unrestricted free agent in 2024. It looks like on here. It goes from 2027 to, no, 2028, maybe? It looks like that he's a restricted free agent. 2024 to 2025 years automatically void if they would like. There's a full no trade clause. He had the fully guaranteed deal when he signed the 1 year, $35 million a year. And Kirk Cousins is 35. Great quarterback. He would have been in my top 10 quarterback rankings if he would have still been healthy for the season, but we know Josh Dobbs is in for a couple of weeks. Now, I still think Dobbs right now is playing at right now top 15 quarterback level. I mean, realistically, you got him, you got Trevor Lawrence, some people that I didn't include there on that top 10 quarterback list. And Trevor Lawrence is just very, very underwhelming this year. There was a big reason why he wasn't on that list. I know you're going to come after me in the comments for that as well. But I think the Vikings should definitely consider, depending on how Josh Dobbs plays out the rest of the year, and the level that he's played as is a level that I'm assuming he's going to play out over these next 7 games, which is why I think they're going to go 5-2. But Josh Dobbs being next in line, it's not unreasonable. He's 28 years old. He's 7 years younger than Kirk Cousins. Again, Kirk Cousins, good quarterback, great quarterback at times. Prime time, we saw him have the masterclass against the Chiefs, but we've also seen Kirk in big games more times than not shrink when he doesn't need to. But that doesn't mean that Kirk isn't a good quarterback and he can go out and get you wins. He can lose you some games. He won't lose you a lot of games, but he might not necessarily fight you back into him to get the throw that you absolutely need, because we know that some of those one-score games, or a lot of those one-score games, can really be kryptonite for Kirk Cousins. But the way Josh Dobbs is playing right now, he's going to be cheap. You probably wouldn't even have to pay him. I mean, NFL world's probably going to call for him to make at least 30, 35 a year, which you just paid Kirk 35, but look at the level Kirk was playing. But for God's sake, if Daniel Jones can get 160 million over 4 years, I know it's the Giants paying him, but still, I'd like to think that Josh Dobbs can earn himself at least a 1-year contract, if not maybe a 2-year contract. We know Jaron Hall is in the building. Some people are very hype about him. Who was is Kellen Mond? Man, y'all making me forget all these quarterbacks that come out. Nah, Kellen Mond is with the Colts, so never mind. But we remember they drafted Kellen Mond. A lot of people were hype about him. But the way that Josh Dobbs is playing now, the mobility, the accuracy, the team is already buying into him. The team loves him. The team has already built a lot of energy around him. So, it's almost like, why would you go out and look anymore if Josh Dobbs basically comes in this year in the back half of the season after the trade deadline and gives you what Geno Smith gave you last year? Because that's kind of the trajectory I'm seeing here. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be elite, but it'll be enough for you to get in, and it'll be enough to get you into the playoffs. Maybe win you a playoff game, not necessarily lose you a football game. And that's what this feels like here for Josh Dobbs. It feels like a resurgence of his career, and I'm here for it. A guy that was very, very talented in Tennessee, a guy that is pretty talented now in the NFL. We saw he played his ass off against the Cowboys when they beat them earlier in the year. And I think Josh Dobbs deserves a chance. He's 2-0 on this run. I think he's got more. The Vikings should take a look at him, possibly give him a chance. Because, are you going to go look any further? Really, are you? Take a little note out of the Seahawks book, at least with Geno Smith. Are you really going to go look any further when this guy just came in off the deadline? He's maybe not even going to cost you a lot in general once you sign him. It depends on how long you want the reins to be handed over to him for. Do I think he's your franchise guy? No. Maybe the Vikings feel different after the last 7 games of the year. Maybe the Vikings feel different as they go into the offseason and they give him that big money. They want to commit to him for the next 2 to 4 years. Drafting a quarterback is still a priority for the Vikings, I believe. Maybe it's not for them because of Kirk. He's also coming back off that Achilles. But I think Josh Dobbs does deserve a chance here.